everyone, and welcome to a speed renovation. It's been a while since I've done one of these, but today I'm renovating Ragdoll Refurb because in my Cats and Dogs Let's Play, I have some Sims who are part of the Let's Play, but aren't really Sims that we actually play with, who I just placed in builds around Brindleton Bay, and I wanted to renovate some of the homes that I have them in so they're a little bit more personalized to them, just because to me it makes it a little bit more fun to go over and visit them. Although I'm not sure if I'm going to renovate all of the homes because I did place a couple of the households in the really big homes that are in the, I think it was Cavalier Cove. Yeah, they're in that part of Brindleton Bay. And it'll be a bit of an undertaking to try to renovate those mansions. So I don't know if I want to do that, but maybe that's something I'll try in the new year. But I at least want to renovate the smaller homes. So yeah, this home is the house that Maya Fox, who is the grandmother of the main Sim, is living in. And this house doesn't end up looking like what you would typically consider to be a grandparent's house, but that's just because I don't really see Maya living in a house that is your typical grandparent's house, you know, with like the dated look and the plaid and quilts and that sort of a thing. Like, I still see her kind of keeping up to date with home, you know, with the style of the home and getting new furniture and all of that, just having a really nice looking place. So she is living in this house that I think is supposed to be like a renovated factory. I think it said it was originally a warehouse for the pet cannery that's supposed to be next door, which I think is that whole area off to the left side of the build. So anyway, she has this cool industrial house that she lives in, and when we get to the interior, I was trying to, I guess the look I was going for with it was like an industrial glam look, although I'm not sure if it exactly came out looking that way, but that's what I was going for. But for the outside of the house, I did change the brick from the gray that it was to the brown brick, just because to me, brown brick just looks way nicer. I just like the warmer look of it. And I also switched the windows that were in the back area of the build because originally it had the big glass windows on the house itself, and then it just had like regular windows on that weird extension area that's on the back of it. And I'm not sure exactly what that's supposed to be. Like, I'm not sure if it's supposed to be something that was added onto it when it was renovated, or if it was like something that was already there for whatever reason, but it was just kind of a weird space, and to me it made more sense to just have regular windows on the house itself and then have the glass windows all the way around the outside, so it looks kind of like this modern area, this modern like deck area that was added on to the outside the house. Like, I felt like it would be better to make it look different than the rest of it. The landscaping also took me a bit to figure out because originally it was just a few bushes here and there, and then there was that terrain paint that was dirt with a little bit of grass in it, so it just looked kind of like gross and spotty and bleh. And there's a bit I cut out where I filled up the whole flower bed area around the build with plants, but then that ended up looking like a little bit too much, like it just didn't go with the build. So what I ended up doing was just keeping kind of the same style that was there originally, but just adding in a few more flowers and also using the flowers from Romantic Garden stuff to brighten up a little bit. And I also changed it so most of it was the grass terrain paint, which did make it look a little bit nicer, but it still isn't really my favorite landscaping. But I was trying to work with what we had originally, so that's just what I ended up doing. And yeah, this build was kind of a weird one to work on. And also, like, when I do renovations, I don't really like to just change around things a whole bunch. Like, I don't like to add on a bunch of new walls or take walls away or like majorly change the shape of the build, because to me personally that doesn't really feel like much of a renovation. I mean, I guess it's fine if you're like adding on a room or something like that, but I try to keep the general shape and gist of the original build, but I just try to work with it to make it look better. And yeah, this is just a weird build to work with because I don't know, it's very square and you know, rectangular, which isn't really the kind of shape I would normally make a build in, so it did make it kind of annoying to furnish, especially the open area in here, just because it's this big open like rectangular space, and that's normally like when I make my own builds, I normally don't end up with a lot of space like that. So yeah, it took me a bit to figure out the furnishing and kind of figure out where I wanted to go with it. Even then, I'm not completely happy with how this part of it turned out, but I definitely am a lot happier with how the upper floor turned out. Like, when we get to the bedroom, that is definitely my favorite part of this build. But yeah, I decided to replace the half walls that were in here with the full wall, and then I just used this window here, and I kind of like how that looks. It's like a little cutout window looking through to the rest of the main area. I think I'll have an easier time renovating the other builds though, because they're all in that Cape Cod style, which is something I definitely have an easier time working with. So I'm not sure when I'm gonna have the next one up. Probably sometime in the new year, obviously, because I mean we've only got like 3 weeks left of this year, and I still do need to do a Christmas build because I haven't done any Christmas related builds, and I need to figure out what exactly I'm gonna do, because I was thinking about doing a Christmas cabin, which I know is super basic and it's something like so many other people have done, but I kind of want to just do something simple and small this year, because I'm only gonna have like a week to build this, and I don't really have time to do anything super extraordinary. And I mean, I usually do like to top what I do year to year, but last year I made that Christmas Inn, and I just don't have the time to make something that tops that, because it was this enormous build, and I had two 40-minute long parts for the speed build, and it took me so long to make, and I just cannot do that this year. So I want to do something small and simple, and I mean, a Christmas cabin would probably be both small and simple. Unless anyone else has any ideas for some kind of smaller Christmassy related build that I could do, I'd love to hear your ideas on that. I know gingerbread homes seem to be the trend this year, but I don't know if I want to do one of those because so many other people are doing them right now. But I don't know if that's something enough you want to see. Maybe I could try that, or I'm not sure what else, like a Santa's workshop or something, or I don't know. Christmas cabin would be so easy though. But yeah, let me know what ideas you guys have for a Christmas related build, because yeah, I just don't have as much time to work on that this year, because I've got like the last speed build I uploaded, I said how like this week I had something going on like every night or almost every night after work, and I'm actually recording this commentary Monday even though the video is going out Friday, because I'm trying to record it in advance of all the things I have going on after work. And then I'm also going to be traveling for Christmas this year, which I normally don't do, because normally I just go to my parents' house and they live like an hour away, so I just drive up there for the day and then come back. But this year I'm actually going to be going away for 3 days, and that's because my boyfriend and I recently got engaged, so he's now my fiance, which is super exciting. And the whole time we've been together, we've never actually spent Christmas together, which has been like 7 years, and that's because, you know, my family has their traditions and his family has his traditions. So we always just spent Christmas with each of our families, because, you know, like I said, I usually go to my parents, and then his family always goes to his sister's house, and she lives like 5 or 6 hours away, which is why they usually stay there for several days. But now that we're engaged, we just felt like it would be best to spend Christmas together this year, which I'm really excited about, because has always been really sad not having them around at Christmas. But, you know, like when you don't spend Christmas with your family, they tend to get very sad about it, and neither of us wanted to like disappoint our family by not spending Christmas with them. But yeah, I mean, with the engagement this year, I felt was just a good year to kind of not do what I normally do and, you know, spend Christmas with his family instead. So while I miss my family, I am excited to get to experience the holiday in a different way. And plus, I also haven't seen any of his family since getting engaged, so I think it'd be good to see them, because, you know, he spent time with my family since then, and we also spent Thanksgiving with my family, so I feel like it is appropriate that we spend Christmas with his family, actually. So yeah, I'm excited about it. And his family also does make kind of like a bigger deal about it in a way, because they usually have like a bunch of stuff planned around the holiday, and they do this like chopped cooking competition where they give everyone 2 ingredients and they have to make a dish using those 2 ingredients, and usually it's things that don't typically go together. And then, you know, everyone kind of competes, and at the end of the trip, everyone votes on which was their favorite meal. So it's kind of like a fun thing. And another thing is that I also signed up to run a 5K on Christmas Eve, and I've never run a 5K before. So I'm kind of worried I might regret this, because I also haven't run for exercise in a really long time. Like, it's been I think I went on like a mile run last year, and I hated it, because while I do exercise regularly, I don't run, because I don't like running. So yeah, I'm kind of worried about how this will go, because I also don't feel like running in preparation for the 5K, but I probably should. I also hate the cold. So this is gonna be great. I'm wondering how much I'm gonna regret this, but I think it'll be fine. Yeah, I hope it's fine. I used to actually run a lot for exercise, like back, I think it was like the summer after I graduated from high school. I kind of got into running, and I would go for like 4 or 5 mile runs regularly, and there was like a period of time where I actually at one point got up to where I was like doing the occasional like 10-mile run. That wasn't very often though, but I know I do have it in me to run long distances. I just haven't done it in such a long time that I'm just worried how this is gonna go, and then also I've never actually run a 5K before, and so I'm kind of nervous about that because I've always, like, running a 5K has been on my list of things I want to do, but I've never actually done it because I've always been kind of afraid to do it, because I think it sort of brings me back to the days of gym class where everyone had to run the mile and you were timed on it, and I just have bad memories of being one of the last people doing it because I walked most of it. So it would take me like 15 minutes to run or more accurately walk the mile, so then everyone else is done and they're just standing there laughing at the people who finished the mile. So yeah, great memories there. I just hated the whole presidential fitness test. Like, that was just an awful thing. I mean, I get that they wanted to do it to make sure that kids were fit and getting exercise and all that, but it definitely did open you up to, like, a little bit of humiliation if you weren't one of the more athletic people like me, because literally the only thing I did well at was the sit and reach, was like the thing where you put your feet against a stool, the thing that looked like a knocked over stool, and then you reach as far as you could, because I've always been flexible. So I would get into, like, the presidential rank of that, because I think it's like you had to get so many of whatever it was, like whether sit-ups or push-ups, to be considered healthy or something. I don't remember what it was. And then if you got so many more, then you're in, like, a high enough percentile that you're considered, like, you're in the President's Club or whatever it was called. So I get into the President's Club for the sit and reach, and then everything else I would, like, hardly get, to the regular ranking or whatever it was supposed to be, if at all. So it was not fun. I just had bad memories of that whole thing, but this is different. The 5K is going to be different because it's not a rate, it's not the mile run in middle school or whatever. It's, just a bunch of people. So I don't think I have to worry about that. Plus, it's only 3 miles, which isn't really that bad. And I mean, even though I'm nervous about it, I just decided to do it because I knew if I didn't, I would be sitting there on the sidelines while everyone else is running and just wishing to myself that I had signed up to run, and I'll just regret it. So you know what, I'm just gonna do it. We're gonna see how it goes. It's gonna be fun, hopefully. But yeah, that's like his family. They usually do 5Ks around the holidays, like before Thanksgiving. Like they'll do, oh, that was Dropbox telling me to pay money for more space. But anyway, yeah, like they always run 5Ks on Thanksgiving, and then usually I'll just be like, nah, I'm not doing that. So I just like do my own workout while they're all out running a 5K. So this year I'm actually gonna join in on it with them. And, maybe I'll continue doing it every holiday. We'll see if it becomes a tradition. Maybe I'll actually really like running 5Ks. We'll see. But anyway, I think I started on the upstairs, and then I just came back down to the downstairs because I realized I forgot a standing lamp, and then I also forgot to put a table lamp in, so I just went back down to finish that up and changed out a few things because I just wasn't completely happy with the first floor at this point, so I just wanted to go in and adjust a few things and make it look a little bit better. So there we got the vintage glamour stuff desk, so this is where I was really trying to add a little bit more of a glamorous touch to the place. Yeah, because I didn't want it to look too industrial, because I didn't really see Maya living in a place that looked super duper industrial, although there still are some industrial touches. But while this is a house for just a single sim, I still did want to have a lot of seating area because I wanted to visit here in the Let's Play and have family dinners here and that sort of thing, so we just have space for that. And she also has a cat and a dog, so that's why, we got some pet stuff around the place as well. And yeah, I was kind of waiting to visit her house until I could renovate it, because I don't know, it just, to me, it makes it more enjoyable to go to a Sim's house and just feel like it's personalized for the Sim, like it actually feels like their place and not just some sparsely furnished place that doesn't really feel like theirs. I mean, I get why the builds come like that with this game, because they want to make it so you can personalize it, and I guess also so it doesn't cost too much and so it can run on most computers, because if you do get a bunch of items in a build, then it does tend to be harder to run on lower end computers. But yeah, we're on to the bedroom, which, as I said before, is definitely my favorite part of this build. I'm just really happy with how it turned out. And this is also the room where you can kind of get a little bit more of that glam kind of a feeling that I was trying to add to this place as well. And then we also have the closets from Get Together, so I could put those into the closet in here. So it's just kind of this closet you walk into, and then you got closets on both sides of it. So yeah, I was happy with how that turned out. And then I was looking at industrial bedrooms for a little bit of inspiration when I was working on this. Or maybe I searched specifically for industrial glam. I'm not sure if I did that or not. But anyway, I noticed that in some bedrooms, they, instead of having table lamps on the nightstands, they actually had hanging lamps over the nightstands, which I thought was so cool. So I just decided to use those lamps from fitness stuff and stick them over the nightstands, which I'm just really happy with how they look. So that's something I definitely want to try in more builds in the future. Something else I wanted to do with this house was add in some pictures that Mai has taken, because she's also really into photography, and I thought about putting up the pictures before uploading this build, like while I was working on it, now, but then I think if you upload pictures that other Sims have taken, it just, when you download it, it just looks like, it's just like white, like a white photo in a frame or something like that. Like, I don't think it'll actually download if your Sim didn't actually take the picture, so I don't know, just because of that, I felt like it probably wouldn't be good to put the pictures in prior to uploading, but yeah, that's something I'll have to go through and do before I actually visit this place. Yeah, I'll try to remember to do that, because I think she still had some in her inventory, but anyway, I think we're just about done with the bedrooms, so now we're on to the bathroom, and I'm pretty happy with how the bathroom turned out, too. This room definitely looks a little bit more industrial, like I added a lot more browns, like, yeah, pretty much everything in here is like a brown or a black, but still, I'm really happy with how it turned out. I also used the corner tub, which is something I rarely ever use. Like, I can't even remember the last time I used a corner tub, but I don't think I've ever used this particular one, but I felt like this bathroom was a good place to put that to use. And as far as the next house I renovate, I'm not sure whether it's gonna be, I think it's called the Bedlington Boathouse or something like that, or Domus Familiaris or something like that. Oh, it's definitely gonna be one of those two, but I'm just not sure which. I should probably do the Domus Familiaris first, because that's where the main Sim's girlfriend lives, but then her best friend lives in the other one. But I don't know, I should probably do the Domus Familiaris first. So yeah, that'll probably be the next one I renovate, and that'll most likely be up sometime early next month. I'm not sure if I'm going to do it after the Christmas build. I might make something else in between then, because I keep saying that I want to make a seafood restaurant, so I will make a seafood restaurant. I also need to build a vet eventually, because I still haven't done one of those, but yeah, somewhere in there I'll do one of these renovations, and yeah, I'll have to decide whether or not I actually want to attempt to renovate the two mansion-like homes, just because it's going to take so long to do. And then also, when I do the fly-throughs at the end of these renovations, I do transition shots between how it looks, how it looked originally to how it looks afterwards, and that just makes the whole process of making the flyover take twice as long, because yeah, I have to get twice as many screenshots. But I do like showing the the before and after in that way. I just think it's really fun. So yeah, you'll see that at the end of this. And actually, I am almost done with this whole renovation, because this last little outside bit here is the last that I do. So if you are interested in downloading this renovation, it'll be up in the gallery. I'm still not sure if the online gallery is working or not, because last time I tried, I still couldn't get on to get a link, and because I've been using Mozilla. That's what I usually use, and when I tried in Google Chrome, it still didn't work. So I don't know if it's working. By the time this goes up, there'll be a link. If not, then there won't be. But either way, it's up in the gallery. So hope you enjoy the video, and that you enjoy the rest of it.